Nigeria. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right. So while we're waiting for others to join us, I will just formally introduce you to what we have for today. Okay. Like I said earlier, my name is Blessing Eziago, and I'll be your host. And this is the normal monthly home buyers conference that we have every month. Last month was superb. It was amazing. I see Sam Ashamu from Lagos. If I don't mention you, trust me, you're welcome. You're especially welcome. But I want to see, drop your names and your locations on the comment section. Thank you all so much. Thank you. So last week's topic, we talked about last month rather, we talked about a very interesting topic that, everybody was, in love with it. And of course, we had smart investors who were very interested in everything we had to offer for the day. So this month, we are going to be talking about smart strategies for smart home buyers in the global market today. Of course, you should know that we are talking about the global market. It's no news that the global market have been affected with a lot of factors. I see ITK Konke from Abuja. You're welcome on board. Welcome. You should understand that so many factors. Chinedu Daniels from Lagos, you're welcome. So many factors has affected not just the real estate market, but other sectors. So, of course, our core focus is the real estate market, and we're not just talking based on Nigeria. We're talking based on the global market. We're looking at the global market. Oluwaseun from Lagos, thank you. Oluwaseun from Lagos, you're welcome. All right, so we're talking about the global market in total, right? The global market, we're looking at the global market. So I want to welcome you, especially wherever you're chatting from. Please do well to keep the chat box very active. I want to also tell you that there'll be a session for question and answer. Richard from Texas, USA, you're welcome. So I want to also indulge that everyone keep your questions. If you have questions, there will be a session for question and answer. And I want to call on board the next moderator for the next session, which is the panelist section. Now, before we go into that, we have one video commercial, which is a testimonial. IT department, please take note. We'll play a testimonial while we'll get our panelists to come on board. Miss Jessica will be moderating, Miss Jessica Martins, who is currently the sales manager for Gtexthomes Nigeria, right? She will be moderating that session where we'll have our beautiful and amazing panelists, top personality in the real estate industry, to come and share insights on top strategies for smart home buyers in the global market today, right? So please, the IT department, can you play just maybe one or two adverts? Let us launch in the day as we begin this session. Thank you so much. So the IT department, over to you. Meanwhile, please keep introducing yourself. I need to see your name and where you're chatting from. We'd like to know where you're chatting from so we can have you on board. Thank you. All right, so the testimonial, let's start rolling. Thank you. The IT department, please, can we have an advert, please? Can we have the testimonials?
That location and that also makes it a very good investment, honestly. Natural. But you know they pick up. I say I've been on the low, looking at my window, but I know they see folks. I they pray for my enemy, may they feel to see.
We appreciate you being a customer with us. Why did you choose Gtexthomes?
I don't even know you guys from anywhere, but I think it was just your director I saw. And I saw a man with a vision and someone that's focused, and I was like key into it. It was even the K2 recently that also uplifted me. These guys are not local champions, so they are going everywhere. There's something I observe about your ST. They are not too big, outrageously big, where those things you guys promised about your smart estate, I've been thinking, with the big estate I see around, I don't know how you guys want to get that, bring them to reality. This manageable guys about implementation of the things you talked about. You guys you're visionary, and I keep saying that, you know where you're going to, and you focus, and that's why everyone wants to go with something.
Hi. Hello. We do the mandatories. We hustle. We go with the flow. Because there's an out, a reward, at the end of it that's just minutes away from all of this. In fact, if you're like me, there's one at the end of every day. These sights, these sounds, this is what makes it all worth it. Being away from it all, but still being at the heart of it. Some of us need to find our next escape. Some of us, well,
I've actually come and experienced it live, and I'm blown away. Everything so perfect. It's not as if like a film trick, like, all the things that has been sent to me. I've actually come and experienced it live, and I'm blown away. Everything so perfect. It's not as if like a film trick, like, all the things that have been sent to me. Oh no, they were not real, but I see it real, live and direct, and they were all very perfect. The finishing and everything, they're all good, and I really love it. Honestly, she has been telling me to upgrade, and I'm thinking about it now. She's upgrading, she's not thinking again. Thank you for what's it called, Jessica. She has been my support and everything.
Thank you so very much. We're glad to have you here. Thank you so much. So you've heard it all. If you're investing in this, I'm not even saying anything. You heard from her. Yeah. Call the number showing on your screen. You can also book an inspection. We are always on site. We'll be waiting for you here to have you, and so that we can create that beautiful experience with you. Signing out from Jasper, Jessica Martins. Bye.
James, have a good day. Bye.
You have to say what you've seen outside the estate before coming here.
Yeah, well, I know that if you want to invest, because I'm investing, I don't know about the goal for other people. If you want to invest, this is a place to invest. I'm looking at the structures in place, and the plan in place for Ibejuleki as a whole, and I'm saying that in the next 3 years, it's going to blow up. there are a lot of things that, like Dangote refinery, the seaport, and the road is starred already. So that's what I'm looking at.
While we were coming in the car, you asked me a very thick and important question. He said that apart from the automations and the greenery and all the works that you say you guys are doing, what makes Gtex stand out from all the other development? Why is it that I can get properties here for 65, 70 and yours is selling for 139, 166? What is that difference? Why did you choose this Gtex to do investment, and why do you keep coming back to us and telling other people about us?
Honesty, integrity. That's it. Rest of mind. That's just it. You know, because I don't live here. I don't live here, and they are one of the reasons why people don't want to invest in property in Nigeria, especially people in diaspora, is because they are afraid. You can tell them they are afraid. It's not that they don't have the money to put into it. They might see that, oh, people are making money from property investment in Nigeria, but they are not be able to find a company that is honest, has integrity, and it says they are truthful. They say it the way it is. I understand that some of your property are not like 500 square meter, but you 400, that's to you. And the reason why you're saying it, just tell me you're not going to tell me that I'm going to get my document and I'm not going to get my document. You're not going to tell me that, oh, I'm selling you 500, meanwhile it's 400. So it's not like that. So the peace of mind that is in Gtex is what attracted me to it, because I'm not here, I don't see it, but it's just the way they said it. That's what Gtex stands for, right? And that's the selling point for me.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Martins and I'm the sales manager for Gtexthomes. And today we...
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to call on Jessica Martins. Jessica Martins, are you there? Are you with us? Hello, Jessica. All right, so the IT department, please, can you please make Jessica Martins a panelist, please? Thank you. Can you please raise your hand? Let him, just raise your hand, please. Let him bring you on board. Thank you. So please bring her on board, as she is the one to moderate the next session. Also, I need to also...
Can you hear me, Winston?
Yes, sir.
I think you've invited all your family members and you gave them your link. So everybody is just blessing easy happy, blessing happy.
I saw it myself. I saw it myself.
So it's making it a bit difficult for people to understand who's supposed to be here. So please, if you're on the chat button, or you're a panelist, or you're joining us, can you rename yourself so we can know who is who? Because I'm just saying blessing, 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 blessing. So that I can know that you invited your whole village to come and know how to do global real estate, right? So even Jessica, perhaps you give them your individual link. That's why it looks like everything's focused. So please, if you're here, you can just click and basically rename yourself, right? So you can write your full name so we can know who is here, and then we can bring you up. Because I can see from the chat button when people are introducing themselves, yeah, like Mr. Gideon was like, let's see, here's the Abu, but I'm saying Gideon, this one you have from Ibadan, Nigeria. So can we just do that quickly so we can get this started? Right, so some of our panelists are even down. I'm not sure where they are, because they're
All right, sir. Okay, so like he earlier said, please, can we rename ourselves, please? Especially those on the panelists, please. Rename yourself, because I think it's a technical glitch that is causing the name to be that way. Please, can you rename yourself? All right, Miss Jessica, please raise your hand so that you can be brought on board. Yes, so especially I want to welcome we have amazing panelists, already set of panelists in the person of Mrs. Bisi Akintayo. She's already with us here. Welcome, Ma. Welcome you especially. We have Mr. Jonathan Odelade. I don't know if I got that correct. Mr. Jonathan is also with us here. And we also have Mr. James Udiong, who is also with us here. And also we have Mr. Farouq Usman, who is also here with us. He's the man that spoke earlier. And shortly we'll have Jessica Martins, who will come up board to moderate the next session, which is the panelist session, where we'll get to talk about the top strategies for smart investors in the global market. Please, the IT department, she's indicating in the comment section. Please, can you call her up, please? Or Jessica Martins, please just raise your hand. Use the symbol. Use the symbol. Raise your hand so that we can bring you on board. All right, I think she's here with us. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Jessica Martins. Jessica Martins, are you there? All right, so my apologies, sincere apologies for that. She will join us shortly. Okay, yes, she's here with us. Welcome, it's good to see your beautiful face. So sorry about the glitches. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it will interest you to know that Jessica Martins is the sales manager for Gtexthomes Nigeria. And yes, she's here to give us a beautiful experience on this topic. Over to you, Ma. Thank you. IT department, give her the spotlight. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I want to be sure if everyone can hear me. Can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, please drop the fire emoji. Like Blessing said earlier, we need that energy in the room. So if you are here with me, you can hear me, you can see me. Please keep dropping the fire emoji while we call on our panelists. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you. Okay, welcome, Mr. Farouq. Welcome, Mr. Unfortunately, I can't see people's name, Mr. James, and I'm seeing another Blessing, so I go apologize. And Mrs. Bisi Akintayo. So you all are welcome, but I think I will start with Mr. James. Mr. James, are you ready for me? But quickly, can we try to rename ourselves, because people are dropping fire emoji, but I'm seeing Blessing Ezeago, Blessing Ezeago. I don't know why. If people can help me rename themselves so I can address you by your name instead of Blessing, please. Thank you so very much. Philip, please, thank you. Mr. James, are you ready for me? Because I have quite a number of questions to ask you. So let's be sure you're here for me.
I'm super excited to be here. This is Jessica. We're here to roll. Let's go. Let's go.
Let me quickly introduce myself. I'm not sure Blessing did before Mr. James also go ahead to introduce himself. My name is Jessica Martins, and I am the head of sales for Gtexthomes. I welcome you all, and I can assure you that there's a lot to learn today. If you're an investor here, I would also want you to signify by saying you're an investor if you want to do that, but if you don't want to do that, it's okay. We'll get to that. Welcome you all. So I'll start with Mr. James, that will be tackling some of the issues facing, or how to navigate that will be taking us on how to navigate the Nigeria real estate market. And I have few just short questions for you, Mr. James. And please, in answering my questions, let it not be more than 30 seconds, pardon me, for each of the questions, because I have for US, I have for Dubai, and I have for UK. So please, Mr. James. So the first question that I get a lot from my investor, I still got this question this morning. And this is it. Say, can you tell us about real estate market in Nigeria, real estate housing market in Nigeria so far? People have been complaining about housing demolition, particularly in Lagos. How can one navigate that? Now, people complain a lot about demolition that is happening in Lagos precisely. So the question is to Mr. James, that how can one navigate this? Mr. James, you want to answer that for us?
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, Ms. Jessica. I'm super excited to be here. And it's a great day. And it's a great day to learn so much about the Nigerian market. First of all, real estate in the Nigerian market is super lucrative. If there's anything you're taking home today, you should know that as an investor, as a realtor, you should know that the real estate market in Nigeria is viable and super lucrative. And these are the reasons, basically. Now, in Nigeria, we boast of the largest Black nation in the world, with a population of over 200 million, Nigerians, across the 36 states of the country. And as I speak with you as well, interestingly, as the largest Black nation in the world, Nigeria is currently under a housing deficit. In fact, as of 2017, record shows that, we're on a deficit of 18 million. And then as of 2020, that deficit rose up to the tune of, 20 million. And as I speak with you, we're currently in 2024. The housing deficit in Nigeria, as I speak with you, is currently over 28 million, in terms of percentage. So you can imagine a housing deficit of over 28 million, servicing over 200 million population, Nigerians across the 36 states. So it's obvious that, there's a booming opportunity. So you want to take advantage of this as an investor and, build as many housing this thing as possible across, precisely, at least with targets to locations like Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and the rest. Now, going to answering the questions about demolition, and I know very well that these questions has been lingering in so many persons' minds, right? Investors who want to invest in Nigeria and Lagos. And I will basically just state a few things to look out for before, buying a property and to avoid your properties being demolished. First of all, you want to avoid buying a property without the purchase receipt. I can't imagine you buying a property and you don't have a receipt that shows that you made a purchase of a 4-bedroom or a 5-bedroom. Do you understand? In the particular locations at this particular date and all of that. So there should be an official receipt that shows that. Make sure you are buying a property. It's precisely a house that has a deed of assignment, because a deed of assignment shows a legal transfer of ownership from the seller to the buyer. And it also has history, all right, that comes with how the land was, the history behind the land itself and the families and all of that. And then the person who sells now to you. So there has to be a deed of assignment, because that's a legal document that shows transfer of ownership. You want to also avoid, in terms of, you want to avoid properties that are close to the canal. Okay, this is very crucial, because if you check the list of, houses that were demolished the past, 6 months within Lagos, you realize that these properties were around canal. Okay, we're blocking the canal access to that community. You want to avoid properties that are under pipeline. Okay, pipelines. You want to avoid properties that are under high tension wires. You want to also avoid properties that are directly on the waterfront. So there's a beach here. You heard of the landmark, that had to be affected with the, that was reviewed for demolition. That's because it was close to the beach, and the Lagos Coastal Road, certainly affected that. So you want to avoid properties that are, around this axis. And very importantly, make sure that your property, you have a building permit for your property. And I know some real estate companies, a particular real estate company that is very big on this. I mean, all of our estates, all of the estates that they've built so far, they make sure they have a building permit. And that has to be recognized by the Lagos State, Physical and Planning and Development Authority. That's LASPA. So you want to make sure that all of these are in check before making purchase on the property. Time doesn't permit me, I would have gone ahead. But I hope that that answered your question.
Thank you so very much, Mr. James. Like I said, I intentionally gave him 30 seconds because if I allow him, we're not going to leave here. So thank you so very much. And again, for the people, our viewers, I know you have a lot of questions to ask. You have a lot of concerns. So I would urge you to jot them down. We have a session for that where we attend to all of your questions and everything. So as I'm calling up moderators as I'm calling up panelists and they are answering our questions, please and please and please let us try to write out any of the questions and inquiries we want to make. Anything pertaining real estate in Nigeria, outside the country, we are here for you. Okay, I want to quickly take a flight to the US. I'm permitted. Mr. Jonathan, how are you doing today, sir? Mr. Jonathan, are you there? Okay, my flight is not flighting. So I'll quickly move to the US. I'll take another flight to the US. Mr. Farouq, how are you doing today? Are you in the US? And how is US doing today?
Unfortunately, I'm stuck in your Nigerian weather at the
moment. Apologies.
Yes, I can hear you, Jessica. Yes, unfortunately, my flight is currently in Nigeria, but and I'm also down the weather a bit, so that's why I'm looking this way. But I'm here to attend to all your inquiries. US is fantastic.
Okay, so Mr. Farouq, I have just a few questions for you from for US because I also have clients that sent in a lot of questions as regards properties in the US. So quickly, the first question I want to ask you is this: can you get a visa from being an investor? Like, I want to be an investor. I want to invest in the US. Can I get a visa just by investing in the US? That's to you, Mr. Farouq.
Well, yes and no, right? Because basically there are different categories of visas for people that want to apply to the US, and the most reliable one that can guarantee you a full actually give you a green card into the US, right? If you have $1 million, you can basically get a visa to go to the US, right? And also, for us in Gtexthomes USA, we can also give you an L1 visa if you can invest on properties about 200,000 and above, right? So yes and no. However, for global investors, right, once you do interest rate of about $1 million, you can get a US visa. I can even translate it to a green card. And the beautiful thing is that this also covers for you and your family.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Farouq. Thank you so very much for that. Please, if you have questions, jot it down. Mr. Jonathan, I apologize. The UK man, I'm not in the UK, and I hope you're ready for me, Mr. Jonathan. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine. Sorry about the hiccups there. You called me earlier, and I was trying to adjust my screen to respond. It's all right. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Jonathan, I'm very sure you're ready for me. So my very first question to you is this. Now, what is the specific advantage of investing in the UK than other places? So I want to invest my property, I want to invest my money in the UK now, or I have someone pulling me to the UK, another person pulling me to the US, another person pulling me to Dubai. So now my question to you is, what is the specific advantage of investing in the UK other than other places? Mr. Jonathan, that's for you.
There are so many advantages, but I will limit the investment to properties for now, not other types of investment like stock market or stuff like that. I won't talk about more.
Property, yes.
When it comes to property, one thing you can guarantee is that when you buy properties for, let's say, £100,000, be rest assured that in a year's time or 2 years' time will have gone up by an average of 7%. So the property market in UK is very, very lucrative. That's just the value of the property going up. I'm not even talking about the rental income. Let's say you are renting it out. You understand? So be rest assured that if you buy property, especially in central London, you can never go wrong. It's always it's a global demand for property in the UK because everybody, Arab, Chinese, Russians, name them, they all come to invest in property market in UK. So we can't go wrong when it comes to properties. Apart from the appreciation of value of the property, if you rent it out, you're also getting rental income as well. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Mr. Jonathan. I will still hold on to my money till I'm convinced to invest in the UK. I'll still hold on to my money. Good day, ma. We have our very special queen of Amazon queen, Mrs. Bisi Akintayo in the building. Good afternoon, ma. How is Dubai today? I took a flight to Dubai, but unfortunately, I'm still on transit. How are you doing today, ma?
Great, and Dubai is amazing as well. I'm currently in Nigeria, not back in Dubai yet. So Nigeria, like Farouq said. Dubai is great.
It's fine, it's fine. Okay, so I'll quickly go into the very first question I have for you today, ma'am. So the first question is, Can you quickly tell us about Dubai off-plan markets? Because I understand we still have off-plan markets in Dubai. So can you quickly tell us about the Dubai off-plan markets, ma'am?
Okay, yes. The Dubai off-plan market is a very lucrative one, and I actually would advise people who are looking into getting high returns on investment should also look out for buying properties in a place like Dubai, because Dubai is a place where you can buy your property spread for as much as 4 years, depending on the payment plan for that particular project. And you get a flexibility of payment. The ROI, depending on the property you're buying. If you're buying a studio apartment, for instance, just a studio apartment, you get returns of a minimum of $30,000 annually, compared to if you leave that money in the bank and you're doing nothing with it. So that's how beautiful it is. Then the difference between buying an off-plan project in Dubai and a property that is already completed is that for an off-plan project, you pay lesser. For a property that has been completed already, it means the property has appreciated. So if, for instance, I have my money and I'm looking at buying a property in Dubai, and I want to move in immediately, then it means I'll be paying higher to be able to buy the property, because the property is completed, like I said earlier, and not just because the property is completed as well. It is also because that particular property which I'm intending to, the off-plan project gives me that room to spread for a couple of years. But already completed property, I cannot spread. The developer wants their money right now. That is, if the property is 6 million dirhams, I have to pay the whole of the 6 million dirhams immediately for me to be able to have my keys and own the property. But in the case of a property in Dubai that is off-plan, I do not need to pay immediately. So I'm paying instrumentally, and it's not just about paying instrumentally. It's also about the fact that there's no tax, there's no interest. I'm not paying any interest on the amount I'm paying back every month. So I'm not paying any interest, compared to some properties in some other countries, whereby when you have such a plan, you have such a model, you have to be paying interest every month. There's an interest on it annually. So that's just the difference as well. Then also, one of the beautiful things I love about the properties in Dubai is that it gives me access to own my property for life. I believe as the question progresses, I'll be able to go deeper and talk about that. But also, investing in off-plan property as well. I'm trying not to answer some other questions that maybe I might be asked later.
Yeah.
Trying to stay within your 30 seconds.
Yes,
short time you are giving to one of us, which is quite short to answer a question.
Yes,
Okay, but
I really appreciate.
okay,
I
let
really
me just
appreciate
say,
that. I would want us to Yes,
So
I want
off-plan
to
properties for me in Dubai, for anyone who is seeking to invest in any country in the world and who is looking at buying a property that could give them returns on time, is to actually go into off-plan projects in Dubai. But please, in as much as I say go into off-plan projects in Dubai, it is not all developers that keep to their promises. So you want to ensure that you also work with reputable brokers like us, Gtexthomes, that can actually connect you to that broker who actually would, developer who would deliver on their promise. Thank you, Mata Osinashi. Thank you so much.
So, like I said, I would really want the speakers to please maintain the 30 seconds for answering my questions. Now, the next question is still about off-plan. It's still about off-plan. So, quickly, talking about off-plan sales. So, is it possible I sell out my unit while it's an off-plan sales? Because I know some off-plan, it's tied down. So in Dubai, is it possible I sell out my property while it's still an off-plan?
Okay, like I said earlier, ensure you deal with a reputable company like a brokerage firm who actually would connect you with a good developer that would help you with all of those things. Because for some developers, they don't allow you to sell your property when it's off-plan. That is, you can't resell it rather to somebody else. But some developers actually would allow you to resell your properties when it's off-plan. But you need to ensure that, number one, you have paid 40% of the property. If you don't pay 40%, if you pay like 10, 20, even 39%, you cannot resell that property to somebody else. You see how amazing and juicy it can be. And apart from the fact that you need to have paid up to 40%, you also need to have paid the government fees, which is 4% as well. You need to have made that payment as well. But like I said, it is not all developers that will allow you to resell your properties if you want to resell when it's still an off-plan project, when you have not completed you have not completed your payment. So you need to ensure you work with us so that we can link your developers or we ensure that you can resell your property.
Okay, I'll work with Gtexthomes to my money. Thank you so very much for that. Like I said, please let's keep our questions. Let's keep jotting because I'm also jotting and I'm going to ask them questions. So I urge you, if you're with us here, please keep jotting so that we have time for when we'll be answering your questions. So I'll be moving to Mr. Jonathan quickly, going to the UK. Mr. Jonathan, please, I want us to stick to the 20 seconds for answering all of my questions. So I want to quickly ask you, this is what I would have asked first. So, Mr. Jonathan, can you tell us about the UK real estate market generally? Can you tell us how the UK market real estate work in the UK generally?
How many minutes have I got? Have I got
30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's a tall order. The real estate market in UK is very huge. It's about 360 billion pounds as of 2024, and it's expected to grow to about 500 billion by 2029. Generally, there are more people looking for properties than are available. So that's make it, how do I say it? It keeps making the value of property go up and up and up. So in the residential market, there are so many options. There's obviously buy to rent, you can buy to live, you can do what is called HMO, which is high multiple occupancy. In other words, you buy a house or whatever and get it rented to a lot of people, but that's subject to a lot of regulation by the local council. But if I need to talk about it, I would need to spend more than 30 seconds. But there are so many, usually you can't go wrong on property in UK. The property value doubles every 7 years. That is how lucrative the property market in UK is. So if you buy a property this year for 100,000, be rest assured that in 7 years, apart from the rental income you are getting every year, the value of your property will double in 7 years. So in other words, you become 200,000 in 7 years. You know, so it's a very
Wow.
for anybody who's got the money to invest here.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. I also have another question for you. Talking about real estate markets in the UK, where are the best neighborhood for real estate or for property investment in the UK? Where do you think have a very high return on investment when it comes to real estate in the UK, Mr. Jonathan?
Yes. Thanks for that question. First of all, Central London is the most expensive, is the most lucrative. When I mean Central London, I mean, the business district, which we call it Western here. Property are very expensive, but also very, very lucrative, because a lot of people want to live in Central London because it's got a lot of things. All the shops are there, all the bars are there, all the restaurants, theaters, cinemas, they're all there. So people find it convenient to live and then just stroll out to wherever they want to go to. So Central London is the most attractive, the most expensive. But if you are buying to live and you don't like city life, you can live in the suburb of Surrey. Surrey is where, if you want big garden, big house, like you live in Ikoyi or Banana Island with swimming pool, you need to go to the suburb like Surrey, and buy your property. They're still expensive, but they are real value for money. Whereas you could get a good house with garden for a good 5-bedroom house for £1 million in Surrey. You get that as a flat in Central London. Maybe 1-bedroom flat or 2-bedroom flat, if you are lucky, in Central London. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so very much, Mr. Jonathan. For all of our audience, please, I want to ask for a favor from you guys. As our speakers, as they are answering all of my questions, I want you to keep dropping fire emoji for them. They are doing so well. They're enlightening us, even me. They are teaching me a lot of things. So please, as they are speaking, drop fire emoji. Don't let the comment section be dry. Let it be bubbling, please. Okay, thank you so very much, Mr. Jonathan. I'm moving quickly to Mr. Farouq. I'm moving to the UK. Mr. Farouq, are you with me? So my very first question to Mr. Farouq is this. Mr. Farouq, can you please tell me about Mr. Farouq, what are the different type of real estate business people can do in the US? I know that I don't know, I'm asking. So what are the type of real estate business people can do in the US right now, Mr. Farouq?
Okay, fantastic. Basically, there are different real estate businesses you can do all over the world. US actually appreciate investors and investors. US is a fantastic place whereby you can go into the US and get institutional investors to give you loans to build a house, to do that type of development, and you can still withdraw your returns on your real estate property even while having a mortgage. So I'm going to highlight about 4 to 5 different ways you can do real estate in the US. The first one is fix and flip. Fix and flip is basically where you are buying and already aging building, a building that is not currently the highest of best use, right? So you innovate for a little piece of amount within a short period of time, and then you will sell. That's the first type of business you can do in the US. For that, you require to actually buy the unit, right? To innovate, you must have enough capital for that. You can either pick up a mortgage, you are resident in the US for that, and make some cool money from that. The second part you can also invest in is commercial investing. Commercial means that if you buy about 10 to 20 different real estate properties, all in the purpose of giving rent, right? You can do that in the US. It works fantastically well. Just have to find a neighborhood whereby it's close to a school, close to a train station, close to a commercial area that you know is always going to be occupied. You buy it, you rent it out. I rent, buy it, stuff like a real estate you can actually do it and over time it increases value and you can either resell or keep acquiring more. The fourth part is the short life and Airbnb. For places like that, you have to target areas that are attractive, maybe closer to the airport, places that tourists come to a lot. And the last part, you can do related to US by investment. So people do, we call that for people that go for the easy visa, whereby they invest as much as $1 million, all in the aim of getting um, a, a green card or a visa for them and their family. So those are like five different markets of the US, and they are all time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so very much, Mr. Farouq. I would also want you to, I don't know, at some point I wasn't getting some of the things you're saying at the end. I wasn't getting some of the things. So kindly help us work on your network from the other end. I have another question for you, Mr. Farouq, quickly. Yeah, I know that the reason why a lot of people invest in most Nigerians in diaspora, the reason why they invest is because they want to get very huge return on investment. So quickly, Mr. Farouq, in the US, what location are the best place right now in terms of return on investment? So if I want to invest in the US, what location do you think are the best right now in terms of return on investment, Mr. Farouq?
Yes, it all depends on what you want to do. So, for example, if you are looking at Airbnb and rental, you have to go to Miami is fantastic for that. High rent, right? And a lot of visitors going there. Miami is fantastic for that. If you are looking at places where you want to get rental income, you can look at where people are moving to. Atlanta is fantastic. Georgia is fantastic. If you want to do fix and flip, you can also look at places like Georgia, Alabama, places like that. There's also North Carolina. And there's a place you should also look at, that's Texas. And because Texas is a fantastic place, they have lower tax in Texas. A lot of big industries are moving to Texas. You have 4,500 companies moving to Texas. You have Tesla moving, you have oil company moving, you have HP moving to Texas, particularly because in New York, it's not dealing with policies, high tax. People are moving away from in fact, for people like us that were doing green and smart, Texas is one of the first biggest locations. We already have two properties that we're investing personally. So I think Texas is one of the hot spots for places like that. But like I said, it depends on what you want to do in the US market, right? So those are the highlights of the US market.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much, Mr. Farouq. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Keep the fire emoji coming in. I'll be moving quickly to Mr. James. Mr. James, 20 seconds to answer all of my questions, please. So, Mr. James, concerning real estate law, can a foreigner buy property in Nigeria? Mr. James, you know, the real estate law as a foreigner, can a foreigner still invest in Nigeria? Can a foreigner still buy property in Nigeria? Quickly, Mr. James.
Okay, great. First of all, I love non-Nigerian investors, but interestingly, the law, okay, the Land Use Act law, created in 1978, actually prohibits non-Nigerians, that's foreigners, from having direct ownership to landed properties in Nigeria. But however, the advantage or the good news here is that for non-Nigerians, okay, in that situation, who are really, really interested and eager to owning properties in Nigeria, you have an interesting escape route. You can do so by actually by buying that property with a company, okay? With a company or an entity that is registered in Nigeria. So let me put that in the context very quickly. So for instance, you are a citizen of US or from UK, and you're interested in investing in Nigeria because you have some of your friends in Nigeria and want to, have landed houses. You can easily look out for a trusted company like real estate. Let's take, for instance, like Gtexthomes, who have real estate company who have, they have their heavy presence in Nigeria with credibility. You can buy properties through Gtexthomes. I don't even understand me. So you can buy landed properties through Gtexthomes, and you have that entity, because Gtexthomes actually fronts, is the company that now buys that property on your behalf.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So that's.
Wow. Thank you so very much, Mr. James. Okay, I have another question for you, Mr. James. So quickly, for people looking for affordable housing in Nigeria, what are the best way to acquire that, Mr. James? So I can repeat the question. For investors looking for affordable housing in Nigeria, what are the best way to acquire that? Quickly, Mr. James.
Yeah, so very quickly, it's actually the government's role, the government of any country to actually make affordable housing made available to its citizenry. Okay, so if you're needing a property that, readily, you can buy with little or no amounts of money, then the government can do that. But however, if you want to the private sector, the developers, it costs so much for them to have this property, to get this property available. A lot of approvals and all of that, and the cost of construction. So these developers have to make money. They're in business. They're there to make business and make profit as well. So their properties may not necessarily be, very, very affordable. But however, there's good news, because you can, take advantage of an off-plan offer as against going for a ready-built property, because ready-built properties are usually expensive. But with an off-plan offer is basically buying a house and then building, gradually. Buying a house before it's even being built, right? So with that escape route, you can buy with a flexible payment plan, and also, you can have that property, begin to give you capital appreciation even before it's fully completed. Someone might be asking, what's capital appreciation? That's the value of a property, the value you have on a property before it's being sold. Okay, so for instance, you buy a property, you buy an off-plan offer that is sold at 145. Okay, by the time it's fully completed, the value of that property will be going maybe as high as 250 or so. So that interval, that gap between 145 and 250 is the capital appreciation. I can only have that in an off-plan offer. So that's what basically an off-plan offer gives you. Aside that, it also gives you this what's called this flexible payment plan. So you can pay in bits as compared to a ready-built property.
Wow. Thank you so very much, Mr. James. Thank you. So I want to quickly move to Dubai. Please keep the fire emoji coming in. Thank you so very much. So I'm quickly moving to Dubai. I don't know if Mrs. Bisi Akintayo is still with us. Okay, she's still here. So I have a question for Dubai. And I want all of us to please listen to this question, because I remembered I was trying to talk to someone about Dubai investments, and the person asked me these questions. And I know quite a number of people that have been getting these questions. So I want us to listen and learn. So, Madam Bisi, this is the question. Nigerians have been banned from Dubai. Can people acquire visa from Dubai real estate investment, man? Because we've been banned. Can we still acquire visa from Dubai real estate investment?
Okay, I love this question, because I also hear this question quite a number of times, and the answer to that is yes. It's not just Nigerians only, because a couple of African countries as well has been banned from entering Dubai. So yes, Africans can come into Dubai, and it's only one way. Apart from, so you don't need to go through the medical route like some people do, or except maybe there's like a major, and that one has to go through a lot of work with the organizers. Like there was a conference sometimes last month, and they were able to bring about 500 women into the country. That's Dubai. But with your investment with our partners, our developers who we work with, one of the things we're able to do is that we're able to do a golden visa for you, which allows you to come into Dubai when you buy property from us. Now, it means that any property you buy from us, as long as you buy a property from us in Dubai, through us and the developers which we work with, we're going to give you as an added incentive. We don't have, in short, we're not supposed to give this to you, but just like an incentive that we are giving to our clients. you buy a property through us, then we make a golden visa for yourself and your family. And that's how amazing it is. And like, remember I told you that the payment is flexible. You get to pay within 4 years. So meaning you can put a 10% or 24% down payment today, and you spread the rest as the years progresses. So yes, you can come into Dubai now, so no need to worry. You can come in anytime. You can go out anytime just with your investment. And at the same time, you are making money via that investment.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so very much, ma. Talking about Dubai, real estate in Dubai. So there is a popular term they use in Dubai that most of us do not know. So can you quickly tell us what DLD means, ma? We get this a lot. Most of us get this a lot. We don't know what DLD is. So can you please explain what's the meaning of DLD, ma?
Okay, it's quite simple. When you buy a property in Dubai, it is expected that you make some fees to the Dubai land, that's to the government. So DLD is just Dubai land documents. That's the department in charge of documentation. So you pay is mandatory. You cannot escape it, no matter who you are. You have to pay that 4% to the government. So if I'm buying a property of 1 million dirhams, that's about 300, or let's say 1.4 million dirhams. That's about $300,000 for that property. So it is expected that I pay 4% of $300,000 to the government. And so once you pay that particular money, it means you own that property for the rest of your life, except you intend to resell the property again, except if you don't want to resell it. But whether you intend to resell it or you don't want to resell it, the property is yours. So the money is mandatory, gives you that opportunity or gives you that right to let you know that your property is yours and is not under any government. Like some countries, you have to go back after 100 years to try as much as possible to renew your ownership on the property. So paying that 4% means you own the property for life. So it's just the documents you pay. It's talking about the documents you pay to the government. So that's all. And if you remember, I mentioned that even if you want to get your property, you want to sell it back, you must pay the 4% to the government fees plus your 40%. So that even if you are buying and there's a spread of payments, you must pay that government fees at the initial phase of buying the property as well.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so very much, ma. Thank you so much. That was really enlightening. Thank you. Mr. Jonathan, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
I see you're sipping some, I don't know, but I know you're sipping something.
Yeah,
So
what?
quickly, I have a question for you, Mr. Jonathan. I understand that Dubai have got zero tax property in Dubai, but the UK, how does the property tax work in the UK? I don't know about that.
Unfortunately, UK live on tax because they haven't
UK
got
what? I didn't get that, sir.
live on tax, on taxation. So that's how they run their economy. That's how they allow people. So on the property side, they have what is called stamp duty. Stamp duty are in two places. If you buy land, you pay stamp duty. If you buy a property, house, you pay stamp duty as well. For foreigners, that is to say, those who are not residents in UK, there is extra 2% of what a local will pay for that tax. So then it also depends on the value of the property. So the stamp duty varies from 2% from 5% to 12%. So if you are buying a property, if it's your that's another thing. If it's your first property, then you may not pay anything up to about 625,000. If it's not for business, if it's just, let's say, you want to buy and live, but if it's then anything above that, you begin to pay stamp duty. So property, usually property, the first 500,000 value of the property is 0%. Then anything above that, like let's say 625, you go 500,000 off. Then 125 on top of it, you probably pay about 5% as a first-time buyer. But if you are not a first-time buyer, you don't get any exemptions. So if your property is between 500,000 and 925,000 is 5%. Anything above 925,000 up to 1.5 million is 10%. Anything 1.5 million and above, that's 3%.
Wow. Thank you so very much, Mr. Jonathan. Talking about investing in the UK. So that takes me to my next question for you. Can you get a resident visa by investing in the UK?
To be honest, I used to know a lot about that. They have what they call Tier 1 visa. Tier 1 visa has nothing to do with whether your investment is property or in stock market. It's just the value of your investment. If you put in £2 million, you get that qualifying for Tier 1 visa, which is about and if you continuously leave the investment in UK, after 5 years, you can apply for permanent residency after 5 years. But if your investment is more than 2 million, let's say your investment is 10 million or more, you can apply for residency after 3 years.
Okay. Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. Thank you so very much. So I'll be moving to the US, Mr. Farouq. I hope you're ready for me. So I have this very next question, talking about tax and resident and everything in the UK. Now moving to the US. So Mr. Farouq, can one buy a property in the US without being a citizen or a resident? Is that possible?
Well, unlike Nigeria, every other country attracts you if you have money, right? So if you have money, you can basically invest. So for the US, yes, they recognize, for example, if you have $1 million, you can buy into the US and become a resident. But even if you are not in the US, you can invest in the US. So you have over 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, you can buy properties from outside the US into the US. However, that does not guarantee your entry into the US because you have conditions. Yes, you can invest in the US, right? You can even set up a company in the US without not being in the US, right? And then you can make money from the US. So yes, the answer is yes. A foreigner can buy property in the US.
Wow. Okay. Again, talking about residents and everything. So can I get a visa for being an investor in the US?
Yes, you can. Also, yes, you can get a visa. So for us, we started an investment trust whereby you can actually invest. So investment trust means that you're not buying a house, you're not buying a land, you're just investing in a project. Like I said, we have two different projects we're running in the US. We have a KD project where we are building over 500 homes, right? On 40 acres. And we are launching each one that's again in Houston, Texas, whereby we are about housing, right? And we have a real estate investment trust whereby you invest in a project. And because we are registered in the US, we can give people a visa to come to the US with their family. And the beautiful thing is that your children can actually have access to free education through an L1 visa. Right? So, happens to us now. So, it's very yes, that can be converted to a green card for you and your family. So investment in the US have those unique opportunities, unlike my UK trip here. We can invest in the US and get a visa.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Talking about Mr. Farouq, please, I still want to ask you one other question because Mr. Jonathan said UK live on task. That without task, they are not there. I'm sorry, Mr. Jonathan, do not feel bad. So, Mr. Farouq, do people or can people pay tax, or what is the tax like in the US? Do people pay tax in the US as much as they pay in the UK, Mr. Farr?
Yes, so the peculiar thing about the US is that US have about 50 states, and each of those states have their own different tax laws, right? One of the highest is New York. New York tax a lot in the US for real estate tax, property tax, business tax as well. But different cities in the US have different tax laws, right? So if you are doing rental, some you can pay as much as 10% on that rental property that you get. You see 10 to about 27%. For the special, some get about 30 to about 1, right? To about 10%. So yes, any property investment we are doing in the US is on tax. It's Nigeria that they are chasing us to be paying tax, and we are bribing our way or paying for one this or the other. But for countries like the US, like the UK, right, they do tax. I'm sure Dubai is different. Dubai, because of their, like Madam just explained, because of their tourist attraction, they use all property tax in the tax, but you pay 4% here. There's no 4% in the US. I'm very sure there's no 4% in the UK. So they live off of the tax on the properties that you get. So if you're a renter for us in Texas, you can pay. So when they pay you, for example, you're getting a rent of 1200 per month, it means you pay 120 to the government, which is just 10%. So that's the taxation policy that they have here.
Wow. Thank you so very much, Mr. Farouq. Now, I'll be going to Mr. James. Now, this very question I want to ask Mr. James has been what most Nigerians in diaspora ask a lot. A lot. So, Mr. James, here is my question. How can people avoid real estate scam in Nigeria, particularly for Nigerians in diaspora? They complain about this all the time. How can they avoid real estate scam in Nigeria, Mr. James?
Interestingly, I have a story of one of my clients who finally bought with me, and he had similar experience. And his own case was very simple. He trusted his family member. He was ready to buy a property, and the family member, he didn't want it for the family relationship. He felt that was a better route to go. But unfortunately, long and short story, he was scammed of over 60 million, right? Came back, nothing was there on the property. And that was how, he lost that money. But he was able to recover when, we got talking and he invested in that property. So very simple. To avoid issues like this, first off, don't trust. It's not a family thing. Business, set aside business for business and set aside family things for family. Okay, don't be sentimental about these things. Make sure you are looking out for a reputable real estate company. But I need you to type it on the comment section there. If I am buying a property, I'm precisely talking to Nigerians in diaspora, okay, who are interested. And even non-Nigerians, like I told you, you still have the opportunity when you buy through a company, okay? You want to make sure that you buy from a reputable real estate company, because they take off that burden of you being bothered about if your property is safe or not. In fact, as reputable as Gtexthomes, you have this what they call Gtexthomes. I know Gtexthomes very well. You have what they call online allocation, where as a client who is in diaspora who can come over, when you buy a property, there is an instant allocation and even an online allocation. I mean, this day and age, social media is one of the best ways to verify these things. On a live session, you have your allocation instantly from wherever you are in the world. And another juicy thing is that, aside from online allocation, you have your documents delivered to you wherever you are in the world. So those are the things you want to look out for. Make sure you're buying from a trusted, reputable real estate company who has a good track record and can deliver on what they say they would deliver on. That's the way to avoid scam in Nigeria. Yeah.
Thank you so very much, Mr. James. You did justice to that. So this is my very last question for you, Mr. James. So what's your advice for people that want to invest in Nigeria but are not sure of the location or what to invest in? I want to invest in Nigeria, but I'm not sure where to invest in, and I don't even know the location. So, what's your advice to those people, Mr. James?
So it's very simple. I've seen a lot of people say, I want to invest in Nigeria, and they're thinking of, they're thinking of cryptocurrency, they're thinking of other means of investment. As much as, some of these things are in the game of luck, and you could get it through, you may not get it through. But one thing I can certainly beat my chest anytime, any day I wake up, I'll advise you, look out for transgenerational wealth creation through real estate. Real estate is just that surest way of investing in Nigeria, okay? Because you're talking about something that your third and fourth generation will benefit from. I don't know if you understand me. So that real estate is just the surest way of investing in Nigeria. And you can do that in various means. You can invest directly, right, by buying houses, okay? And like I said to you earlier, off-plan is the best way. You are looking out for a flexible payment plan, capital appreciation, good rental yield. Then off-plan is your best bet, okay, investing in Nigeria. Also, you can also invest. You can choose to buy land, and you can choose to invest, indirectly as well, into real estate. But ultimately, you want to invest in real estate, buy a house in a very lucrative place, and look out for locations that are close to top landmarks like universities. Federal university. You want to look out for locations that are close to industrialization, because these are things that brings investors, closer to your investment. So, we have properties along, way back in Lagos, we have properties along close to the Dangote refinery. When you look at locations like that, you look at the over 300,000 investors coming to that axis. Those are your market. So if you build a property within a location like that, you are sure of people who rent your properties, and God so help you, you buy a smart home. Man, you are making your money. In fact, you're making 15% higher than the regular, offer. So those are the things you look out for. You look out for locations where you have very good landmarks, and they are most likely close to major express routes, and all of that. So I would have loved to go on, but time.
Thank
I need to be
you
conscious
so
of time.
very much, Mr. James. Oh,
Yes.
Madam Bisi left already? Okay, because I wanted to go to Dubai. Thank you so very much, Mr. James. You did justice to that question. And I hope all of our investors or prospects on this call are already taking getting one or two things. Like I said, get your questions ready. We have time for that. So my last question quickly to Madam Bisi right now is how do I ensure I do not lose my house in Dubai? We are all scared. How do I ensure
Okay.
that?
Okay, this is also another amazing question. And by the way, I've been learning from everyone, from Mr. Jonathan to James to Farouq. Thank you all so much. I've been learning myself. I really appreciate the depth of knowledge today. So how will I actually secure or how do I secure my property in Dubai and not lose my money? Please ensure that, number one, you get all the pros and cons of the deal before you go ahead into the business. It's just like going into a mortgage plan anywhere in the world and saying that you don't know that if you don't pay your mortgage, you will lose your house. So it's like a statement that you shouldn't even be saying outside, because it means you did not get to know your pros and cons before you get into it. So one of the things about buying property in Dubai, in as much as a lot of developers do not actually deliver up to their promises. They don't deliver up to their promises. And we also have learned from this. And we always ensure that we ensure now that every client coming through us will meet up with their promises, because we discovered that a lot of people are just after selling and not educating their clients. So what happens in Dubai is that there's something they call booking fee. So when you put your booking fee, when you make payment for booking fee, so the booking fee is between 10% to 20%. depending on the developer as well. So if you put that money down and you don't continue to meet up with your payment plan, then that is where the problem is. So you put down your booking fee and you're now looking for money. So ensure that your client or whoever wants to buy this property, you know your source of income that's provided the first 20% is able to provide the next 10% depending on your payment schedule. So ensure if number one, you get the payment schedule. Number one, know the pros and cons. Number two, know the payment schedule. Then ensure that number three, that your source of income can help you to meet up to the next payment, which could be like in the next 9 months, it could be in the next 10 months, 15 months, or 13 months. Just ensure that this actually you are able to achieve it. And if you know that it is not achievable, don't even dive into it at all. So that's where a lot of people get their fingers burnt, because they put down their first 10 to 20% and they can't meet up with payments anymore. And if you can't meet up with payments, if you speak with the developers, even if they give you some time, yes, they'll give you some time to meet up via whatsoever reason you give. But if you can't stay meet up, you stand the chance of losing that money. So please ensure you get these details right before you go into buying the property. And pardon me, sorry, when I was explaining DLD, I said Dubai Land Documents. I don't know why I kept saying document. It was Dubai Land Department. So please let me correct myself right now, so people don't make that error. Dubai Land Department. Okay. So that's how you can avoid losing your money in Dubai. And please also ensure you deal. I keep emphasizing on deal with a brokerage firm who will link you up with a very good developer, because not all developers would have seen a situation whereby someone told me that they bought a property and the company did not even exist and they never knew. So they bought a property from a company in Dubai and the company did not even exist, neither does the property exist. They just had like a beautiful showroom to showcase, and after a while, guess what? They squandered with everything. So you just have to be very, very careful so that you don't lose.
Wow, thank you so very much, Ma. I really learned a lot from Dubai, UK, US, and Nigeria. Thank you so very much, Ma. Lastly, Mr. Jonathan, you already answered this question, but someone just sent it to me again. He probably wasn't listening when you were answering that. The person said, that what's the advantage of investing in the what's the specific, in just maybe 10 seconds, what's the specific advantage of investing in the UK, Mr. Jonathan? You are muted, Mr. Jonathan.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can all hear you now.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. Let me limit myself to property market instead of generic investment, The thing about property market is that, well, I've never heard of anyone that says he lost money in property market in UK. Although you can lose money, don't get me wrong, depends on the kind of tenant you get, or maybe you can afford your mortgage and you are in arrears and all that stuff. But let's assume you can afford the property. Be rest assured that, and the closer the property is to London, the higher the rental income, and the higher the value of the property. So, because most people want to work in London, so they want to do less commute, so they rather live close to train station, tube station, which is underground station. We call it tube here and all that stuff. But definitely, if anyone has money to invest, the safest best, and that's why a lot of foreigners come to invest here in UK in property market. Most of them don't even rent it out; they just buy it and leave it empty, because they know what you call capital appreciation in Nigeria. We call it capital gain here. The property increases in value every year anyway. Whether so your money is not losing value. Instead of maybe you have £500,000, you put it in the bank. If you put it in the bank in UK, you'll be lucky to get maybe 5%, 7% maximum. But if you invest in property, you can rent the income is obviously a lot, and the property is also continuing to increase in value. So
Wow.
the notion, we can't go, like I said, most times property doubles in value every 7 years in UK.
Oh, wow. Thank you so very much, Mr. Jonathan. Thank you so very much, Mrs. Bisi Akintayo. Thank you so very much, Mr. James. And quickly to Mr. Farouq, my very last question to Mr. Farouq. How can people access mortgage as a foreigner in the US, Mr. Farouq?
Well, a lot of people want to actually buy properties in the US. I've actually had some people come and meet me personally saying they want to invest in the US, but they need more mortgage, right? For foreigners, it's a very difficult situation. Um, the hack I will advise you do is number one, maybe you find someone that is willing to give you an extended payment plan, or number two, you try and register a company, right, and then get financing through the company for the project. Right, I think that's the only few ways you can do. For foreigners, if you get people to give you mortgage, it's going to be at a very, very, very high risk because you know that in the US they make use of what they call credit score, right? You need to have credit to be able to access mortgage and interest. And for a foreigner, you do not have a credit score, you do not have anything that makes you accountable, which means that you can get a loan because the mortgage is a loan and disappear and they cannot basically trace you or do anything. So for a foreigner to invest in the US through mortgage is a very, very difficult thing, right? You most likely just partner with some that are willing to give you an extended payment plan, or they can front for you or provide institutional private investors to help you with the property. Yeah, but if you're a resident, yes, you can access mortgage if you're a resident in the US, right? You're a resident in the US, you can do that. But from the outside US, if you're in Nigeria, you want to buy a property in the US, it has to be all cash. But if you're a foreigner resident in the US, of course, you can do that. Specify you have a credit score, you can do that.
Thank you so very much, everyone. Thank you so very much. We've come to the end of this session. Mrs. Blessing will be taking us on the questions we asked, so you can still stick around. We have people that have got loads and loads of questions to ask. So Blessing Ezago will be taking us on the next session. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it, and I learned a lot. Thank you all.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. My sincere I had to use due to technical issues. Thank you all so much. I learned so much. Thank you, Mr. James. Thank you, Mrs. Bisi Akintayo. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. Thank you so much. So this is over to the comment session. Do you have questions? Please do well to ask your questions. As our panelists are here and they're ready, I'm ready to read your questions. Please do well to ask your questions. We're waiting while we move over to the next session. So we're going to take a break from all that. I know it was a lot. I know we learned a lot. So we're going to take a break, just 1 minute break, just a video. The IT department, please just show one advert video to calm the tension in the air. I'm sure we've gotten a lot of loads and loads and loads of, information. There's a saying that information is power, and applied information or applied knowledge is wisdom. All right. So while we are still deliberating on the question and answer, let's listen to one of our testimonials from one of our subscribers. Please, the IT department, you have the floor. Thank you so much. So while that is coming up, the next session is the offer of the day, which will be moderated by Mr. James Udiong, who is going to moderate the offer of the day. Of course, as you know, the panelists, as they have shared knowledge, of course, they have opportunities that you can take advantage of. So someone is asking a question, and I will go while I wait for the IT department to play the advert video. Okay, the person is asking, please also write your name, okay? Because, due to the technical glitch you are having, Mr. Farouq said I brought my family members, so I can't read your names, okay? So please, as you're writing your question, please also attach your name, your full name, so that I can also call that out too. Okay, the first question is, what type of property do you have in Lagos? All right, so I'm going to be calling on Mr. James Udiong, as he is the one representing Gtexthomes Nigeria. All right, so he's going to answer that question. Mr. James Udiong, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, very quickly. So I was thinking I would answer this, attend to this when during the offer of the day, but since we need to carry our clients, our investors along. So very quickly, we are currently our 2 bedrooms to 3 bedroom are sold out. Okay, that's our offers within Nigeria. A 2 bedroom, 3 bedrooms are sold to 2, 3 bedroom are sold out. What's available on ground right now, and it even comes with an amazing offer, which I'll get to share, is the 4 and 5 bedroom. And someone might be asking, do I really need a 4 bedroom or 5 bedroom? And I will tell you, yes, you do. And basically because, first of all, you're having it at a flexible, it comes with a flexible payment plan. And the fact that you can buy this property for 3 major reasons. You can buy it for personal, you can buy it to build for residential purpose, you can buy for investment purpose. As a matter of fact, our offers in Lagos and Abuja are in very strategic locations. From the one in Lagos, not far from the Dangote refinery, so we have investors coming in. From Jasper, Lagos to Lakapan Tropicana, just 10 minutes or so, and we have talk about any celebrity in the country. I mean, these guys come here to party. It's the largest resort in Africa, as I speak with you. So you have an offer within a location like this. It's a boost of your client base is much. I mean, basically, when people, smart what's the word now? Expatriates are looking out for saying smart and green and smart home to invest their properties in. As we speak with you in this axis, I mean, we currently have low housing deficits. There's a housing deficit within the Lagos, the Ibet corridor. So it's an opportunity to buy into the 4 bedroom or 5 bedroom, and they come with a 4 bedroom. You have a 10 million discount, and as against 445, you can have it for 135 million. And not just that, you can start that with an initial deposit of just 20 million. Okay, and spread the balance across 1 year or more. See the benefit of off plan as against going to buy a ready-made property. That off plan gives you that flexible payment, and I can guarantee you, before you complete your payment, right, the capital appreciation in this property is massive because it's a green and smart home. I can guarantee you that before you even finish selling, maybe in the next 1 year or so, these properties are worth 15 to 20% higher than the price you bought it. So those are the advantages, and those are the offers we have. We have 4 bedroom and 5 bedroom, and more details will be coming soon. So stay tuned to the end of the session.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. James. Thank you so much. I hope you have your questions answered. The person that asked, please. All right, we'll move over to the next person, Mr. Daniel Adeyemi. He says, my question goes to Mr. Farouq. I couldn't hear the first 3 business one can do in USA. He said, I could only hear the 4th and the 5th, which is the shortlets or Airbnb, and the $1 million investment plan, which gives visa access with your family. So, Mr. Farouq, over to you. This question is directed to you.
I'm going to pick this up. Mr. James, I think you can just give the offers so people can basically move on with their businesses. Right, so the first one I spoke about was fix and flip. Fix and flip, basically, you can actually do it in Nigeria as well. It's actually good in Nigeria and also in the US. Basically, almost anywhere in the world that has, so you look for locations whereby there's not a lot of land anymore, or some of the buildings they are aging, and people are actually still living in those areas. So fix and flip is that you buy a unit that possibly should be generating more income. You add a little bit of renovation. Perhaps all you need to do is just to put a garden in front. Maybe you need to just add a kids playground. Maybe you just have to change the roofing, or maybe you just have to change the toiletries, the sanitaries in the unit, and then you can sell for a higher return. So if you are doing fix and flip, you have to ensure that you sell within the first 1 or 2 months, right? And ensure the work you are going to do is not going to take more than 2 to 3 weeks, so that you can quickly turn your capital. And for fix and flip, you don't go for something very solid. You don't look for a ridiculous amount before you sell. Maybe one of the first two offers, for example, you buy something for 100,000, you fix it, you can sell for 120, right? You don't have to sell for 180, look for maximum profit. That's the first. The second one is commercial real estate. Commercial in this sense is anything that brings in income every month or every year. So you can buy a unit of 10 units, like one we have in Valdosta. We started at the fix and flip. We bought it, right? 20 units, we fixed it. We moved the rent from 950 to 1400 per month, right? So that's a rental producing asset. It's something you can also get, whereby you're already buying it, right? And you'll be getting rent every month, every year. You can get at least 8%, 6 to 8% of the price you buy it. In a couple of years, you can still resell it and you make your money back. And the third part I was talking about is residential real estate, whereby you're just buying for yourself to live with your family, whereby you just want to buy, and maybe when you move around, you can sell it out, or just want to buy because you need an asset, you want to take a mortgage off, and then use the money to buy something else, right? The fourth was the short let, and the fifth was investment. So the investment is not only $1 million. You can also invest in properties and get return on investment every year or per annum. It can be 5%, 6%. For us, we are offering between 8% to 15% if you invest in our property development in the US. So these are several types of real estate investments you can do in the US that's quite lucrative for you. So that's for that. And also for the person that asked about properties in Lagos, apart from that, we have properties in Ibejuleki. Ekpe is a very fantastic market as well. We also have landed properties in Ekpe too. We have in other parts of Lagos as well. So if you need more information, you can reach out to the phone numbers on the screen. You can reach out to Mr. James and Ms. Jessica, and they can give you the best offers we have at the market.
All right, thank you so much. So over to you, Mr. James, as we take the offer of the day. All right, so yes, over to you, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ms. Blessing. We are gradually coming to the close of this. But of course, sometimes they say you leave the best for the last. In fact, the bottom part is usually the cocoa is the sweetest. Okay, I'm talking as a Nigerian, as a proud Nigerian. So very quickly, I know we have smart investors here who are very eager, to have the offers offers available for Nigerian properties, the Dubai properties and the UK properties. So I'll quickly go for give the offers for the Nigerian property, and then we'll go to the US and then Dubai and UK as well. So very quickly, for Nigerian properties, like I said earlier on, and Mr. Farouq added to that, we have an amazing offer and currently on off-plan. As a matter of fact, we had Dr. Bisi Akintayo, the chairman and founder of Gtexthomes, visit one of the sites, in Lagos, in Ibejuleki precisely, I think last week, and it was an amazing offer. Unfortunately, that offer had rounded off because it was just a 4-day window. But the good thing is, it had to be rounded off because we had amazing investors who called in and picked at various units. We had a total of 10 units, and as I speak with you, just 3 units are left. One for, that's for the first batch, 1 for 4-bedroom and 2 for 5-bedroom. But interestingly, there's an extension, okay, where this offer also extends to our batch B, because this 10 units was for the batch A, right? And it's almost so that just 3 units left. But of course, we have smart investors who want to take advantage of that. You can basically do that by making your commitments today. I'm not telling you to take this offer or hear this offer and then go sleep on it, because if it passes you, some other person will take it. That's for sure. So we currently have a 4-bedroom and 5-bedroom offer available for smart investors. And for the 4-bedroom, as against, you have a 10 million discount for the 4-bedroom and for the 5-bedroom. So as against 145 million for the 4-bedroom, you can have it for 135. And that's not the juicy on the cake is the fact that you can own a green and smart home with a 4-bedroom green and smart home with just an initial deposit of 20 million. And if you're considering the 5-bedroom, you just need to make an initial deposit of 30 million. Okay? And not just that, you have that flexible payment of spreading it across 6 months, right? And if you need any further extension, you can do it to a year. Of course, if we understand sometimes, you need some extra, duration for that, we can always make provisions for that. But of course, all of this depends on your initial commitment for either the 4-bedroom or the 5-bedroom. Now, another advantage to taking advantage of this 4 and 5-bedroom is the fact that you'll be having the opportunity of traveling on an all-expense-paid trip to Ghana. Okay? And you want to clap for Gtexthomes for that. You want to clap for Gtexthomes Nigeria. I want to see you, if you are a smart investor and you feel this is an amazing offer, I want to see you engage on the comment section. It's an amazing offer. You're not just having discounts, a whole 10 million discount on this 4 and 5-bedroom, but you also have that rare privilege of having an all-expense-paid trip to Ghana. Now, this is the juicy thing. You're not just going to Ghana, right, for this, but you also be having you'll be in Ghana in company of the very well-known, the eagle of real estate, Dr. Stephen Akintayo will be there live in person. And when Dr. Stephen is in the location, it is value overload. So everything you need to know about real estate, everything you need to know about investment, you'll be learning directly from a wealth of experience. This is Dr. Stephen started his business with that, 1,000. For those of you who knows the story, started as low as 1,000. Today, we have offers across 4 continents of the world, and that includes US, UK, Dubai, and of course Nigeria. So that's a man you'll be learning from, and it's a 4-day trip, right? And this is not all. Dr. Stephen will not just be the person there. We have the former president of Nigeria, in person of former president of Olusegun Obasanjo, will be there as well. And we have very other notable speakers in person of Efe Sekubo. We have Professor Patrick Lumenberg, and we also have Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. I think that's the president or the chairman of a banking bank. So these are professionals, top professionals in their field that you'll be learning so much. You'll be learning so much from at no extra cost, just because you bought into a 4-bedroom or 5-bedroom green and smart home. And you might be wondering what a green and smart home means, but there'll be a flyer and some other details, to give you even in-depth details about the offer you're about to purchase. So I'll be giving the number very quickly for those of you reaching out or making inquiries to reach out to. And very quickly, the number to call, to take advantage of this offer. Remember, it's just 3 units that are left in the first batch, and we have I think Dr. extended, to meet with batch B of 2 units of 4-bedroom and 3 units of 5-bedroom. That's all together, you have 7 units, right? So you want to take advantage of this, simply call the number +234. I'll take that again. Ms. Blessing, you want to put that number on the comment section for us. +234 814 67 I'll take it again. +234 814 387 6711. So for all of your inquiries about our properties in Nigeria, you want to reach out to that number. Remember, it's not just an offer. We are not just talking about offers in Lagos. We also have this off-plan offer as well in Abuja, close to the popular Junami Center. And trust me, it's in an already developed, environment, and investors are basically clients who are ready to rent your properties are available on ground. So if you're buying this for investment, it's a very good one. You also we also have landed properties like Mr. Farouq also talked about in Lagos. We have in Ekpe, we have in Ikorodu. We have amazing offers in the Sherry, Abuja, Lugbe, just to mention a few. Okay, so you can reach out, like I said, you can reach out to the number I called earlier on, or you can also reach out to the number +234 80 99 99 4807. So for all of your inquiries about Nigerian properties, you want to reach out to those lines. I'll take the last number again, +234 80 9 in 4 places. Okay, I think that's easier to remember. And then 4807. So call the number, lock down the offer. I mean, this is the extension the offer is to end by Friday. I think that's 23rd, right? This Friday, the offers, that means you'll be losing out from the 10 million discount and the all expense paid trip. And of course, the initial deposit, if you don't take advantage before that. So call the numbers and lock down your offer immediately. So very quickly, I'll be moving on to our US offers. Mr. Farouq, are you there? Are you with me? So very quickly.
Yes.
Yes,
I think let Mrs. Bisi just give out first, so I can just wrap up after my offer and we can close it.
Okay, so although my offer has to do with a slide, so if I'm unable to share a slide, I would quickly just do that in a little while. So we have different properties in Dubai. Amongst our properties is one which we're selling right now for 1.4 million dirhams, which is a studio apartment in Dubai. Like I told you earlier, you get to earn minimum $30,000 on a annual basis. And the offer actually consists of your golden visa as well, which you have opportunity to get once you buy from us. We'll be giving you as an added incentives. And one of the things I need you to understand is that when you buy
can share your
property,
slide now.
okay, thank you very much. I'll do just that. When you buy properties from us, one of the things that you also need to understand is that the appreciation is really, really quick, it's really, really fast. And when you're buying properties, that is also very close to the metro station, because the property I'm talking about right now is quite close to the metro station, and it's 5 minutes walk to the metro station. It has about 40 amenities in that particular property at the moment, and each of those property, when you have someone who comes to live in those areas, they always want somewhere that's close to metro, somewhere close to town. So I'm going to be showing all of that in my slide right now. And also we have another property, that one already is open. Okay, let me just show you this one that is open on my site in order to take away time. The first one I'm talking about, which the minimum amount is 1.4 million dirhams. If you're interested in it, and that's like the cheapest our developers would ever do. So if you're interested in that, I'll drop my number. You can reach out to me on these properties. Okay. Now we have another property which is the Jewel of Guild. This one is actually at Jumeirah right now, and we are selling this. We actually, this particular property, the developer you pay 1%, so we call it the 1% deal. So that's basically what this property is about. You pay 1%, so you don't need to pay the total money all the time. You pay 1% of your total money. So The distance is just 2 minutes to the metro, 3 minutes to Dubai Marina Mall. Then you have 3 minutes to Jumeirah Island. Jumeirah is one of the amazing places you want to live in when it also comes to living in Dubai, because you're close to the beach and there's so many benefits when you when you stay around the beach as well. Your property actually appreciates very, very fast, because a lot of tourists who want to come to Dubai, they love a place whereby they can easily go to the beach. It's not far from them. So 5 minutes marina walk and 5 minutes to the Top Golf. So you have 7 minutes to in Dubai, skydive as well. Sorry about that. You have 2 minutes. Sorry, my WhatsApp is coming up right now. So let me just stop share and close that. Okay, I hope you are getting 1 or 2 things from our Dubai properties. When I'm on my laptop, my WhatsApp automatically just comes up. So I think I need to begin to turn that off when I'm live. Okay, so just 10 minutes to the Mall of Emirates, 12 minutes to Burj Al Arab, 18 minutes to Burj Khalifa, 20 minutes to Dubai Frame, and 25 minutes to Dubai International Airport. So this property accords you the opportunity to pay 1% every month, okay? 1% every month, and that's how beautiful the property is. And this is the founder, which is Rizwan Sajan. That's the founder of that, which is one of the developers that we actually deal with right now at the moment. So for those of you, my slide might not come up on time, but for those of you who actually are interested in this property, all you need to do is to reach out to me. You can see the beautiful, now this is your property, this is what you're going to get, this is the elevator. And looking at the elevator alone is as if you're living in an hotel. That's the way the property is. So this is the property, this is the studio apartment. Your studio apartment, you have your mini living room in the studio apartment, plus your kitchen as well in the studio apartment. So this is like a luxury living that you're going to be having here in the heart of Dubai. So this is your kitchen, and it comes with some of these accessories that you can see, but not with a plate as well. So this is your bathroom. I don't know if someone is already feeling like living here at the moment. I feel like having about 4 or 5 of these right now. So they're making this place more like your hotel experience, okay? So this is your gym once you get this property. So this is actually a rain shower that is added features to the property as well. You can go to the pool, you can see how amazing the environment is, and the beauty such that you can enjoy and have an amazing time. So this is the rooftop pool bar. So you have a bar at the rooftop and you have a swimming pool there. You can see luxury at its finest here in Dubai when you key into this property. So like I said, you get to pay 1% every month. And before you know, you are done paying your money. So this is like an infinity pool. You saw the pool area, so you could swim from any end. In short, you could do a swimming competition, swim from one end of the pool to another end of the pool. So the pool actually surrounds the entire property. This is a newly launched project by Danube, which is the developer we work with right now. So if you want to buy into this property, you can reach out to us. This is a cabana sitting, as you can see on my screen. So this is your kids play area, outdoor kids play area. It's not a property that really have outdoor kids play area when you key into them, but this is amazing. You can have your nanny go meet them and play with the kids. You can have your yoga. This is your yoga decks with your instructor, your prayer hall for those who are Muslims. I remember it's an Islamic country. So we have about 40 plus luxury amenities: jacuzzi, kids pool, aquatic gym, waterfall, toddlers, splash pad, kids play area, trampoline, cricket pitch, wall climbing, basketball courts. We have jogging track, outdoor gym. We have snooker zone, chess, table tennis, family sitting, doctor on the call, female and male prayer meeting, your library, your salon, your business center. So many other amenities that you can see in this project. So for those of you who are interested, of course, you can reach out to us. I'm going to drop our numbers right now, so you can reach out to us if you're interested in owning a property here in Dubai with us. So our Dubai number to reach out is +971 54 525 6122. I'm going to type that in the chat box right now. If you want to reach out to us, 971, our Dubai contact number 54 525 6122, or you can reach out to me on +234. You can reach out to me on +234. Okay, if our team members are here, they can drop their numbers as well so that people can reach them, because I don't have that for fun. +234 88220077 for you to lock down your own property in Dubai today. So any of the properties you want to lock down, the minimum is starting from is 1.4 million dirhams. And of course, it climbs the ladder like that, like it ascends the ladder, it doesn't come down. So that's the minimum you can key into. So you can either key into the property whereby you pay a 10% in 15 months' time, you pay another 10% in about 9 or 10 months, or you decide to go with the property whereby you pay 1% every month until you finish making your payment. So 1% of what this means is you pay 1% of the entire amount every month. That is what it means, which makes it even more flexible for you to be able to afford and to buy into the property. So remember, one of the benefits of buying property in Dubai, it accords you the opportunity to have a tax-free property. That's number one. Number two, as well, your returns on investment is quite high. Number three, there's you also get to own your property for life. I'm going to put that in a layman language. You get to own your property for life once you have paid your government fees as well. As we rightly said during the meeting, even when after paying your 44%, you can even decide to sell your property as well. Then another thing as well is once you finish paying for your property and your property is ready, you also can resell your property. Your property appreciates in value. So one thing about Dubai property is that
Is it me or I think we've lost her?
that is not even as if they factored it out. It's going to increase, it's going to grow by the year in about 10 years' time, close to about 10 years' time. It was projected last year that it's going to double in economy. And when an economy is growing, there's a lot of development happening in the economy, and there's a lot of tourist attraction. Guess what? That is a good place for you to invest your money in so that you can get good returns on investment. So if you are that individual who is watching this right now, reach out to us today so that we can lock your investment, which is going to give you that returns. You'll be excited, you'll be happy, and you will be more than excited to key into. So thank you all so much for the time. So over to you, our CEO, Farouq. So Mr. Farouq, over to you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ma. In fact, the way you've presented this, I think I need to start my own investment in Dubai because I need Japa visa. I won't call it resident visa. I call it Japa visa. Right. So thank everyone for joining us too. So it's been a fantastic event so far. And I personally have learned more about the UK markets, Nigerian market, and as well as the Dubai markets. And come here today as basically just help people to enlighten people on the importance of real estate, because real estate is the only profession in the world that I can use to build wealth, maintain wealth, right, generate wealth, at the same time transfer wealth from generation to generation. No other profession can do that for you. And real estate is quite eternal. It cannot disappear because the land does not disappear. You can always find new use for the land, but the land is not disappearing, right? Regardless of what happens, you can use real estate for agriculture, for commercial, for residential, for rental, for fleet, basically anything, right? Regardless of the different locations that you're investing in, there's always a new market. Dr. Steven will say one of the key things you need to do about real estate is try and diversify into different real estate markets. For example, about 2 weeks ago, right, I think there was flooding in Dubai. but does not mean Dubai real estate will not still come up after that. If Dubai is slow, it comes to the US is slow, the high inflation, you go to the US. The US is having many problems with the UK. And that's what diversification looks like all around the world. We are already coming towards the middle of the year, towards the end of the year. Dubai real estate market is become very, very fast. So a lot of people are coming to Dubai because of the winter. And Dubai has a very firm climate. When everywhere is already freezing, Dubai has a fantastic weather between August and December, which means you have to invest in Dubai. And for those of you interested in Nigeria, Nigeria has a high inflation rate, which actually favors property investment, which means that there's no other place you can actually invest and get high return on investment than Nigeria. Right? Especially if you're looking at the developed areas that are developing, areas that they have announced perhaps a new airport. You should look at in Lagos, for example, two key areas you should look at is Ibejuleki, if you are not already with it. Another place you should look at also is Ekwe, right? You also have to look at the areas they are looking along the coastal roads between now and Calabar. Is another booming economy in Lagos. And that's what real estate does. There's always a new and new economy. There's always new opportunities for you. And that's why we've done this webinar. For example, in the US, we on our own are expanding to the US. We have 2 new properties we are developing for the next 10 years. There's a KD project we are looking at, and we took investment between $10,000 to $1 million. Currently, the lowest you can take on that is $100,000. However, we have a new project in Richmond, which we are still taking between $10,000 and $1 million. And you can come in. With a minimum of 10,000, you can get about 15% in 18 months. I can do that for the next 3 years or for the next 6 years or 9 years, right? These are what real estate can do for you. And you can look at it and say the returns 15% in 18 months is not much, but that's what we call the Udiong risk investment. Fresh can give 100% in a day. However, you can lose 100% in 1 hour. And that's what we call high risk investment. So as investors, you have to diversify your portfolio. There are 3 types of investment. There's low risk investment. That's your insurance, your bonds. You have medium risk investment. That's your real estate properties. You have your high risk investment. That's your forex and your crypto. You need to be able to diversify your investment to build transformational wealth. Remember, I said real estate is the only one that does 4 things for you: build wealth, manage wealth, right? You can grow your wealth, and again, you can transfer from generations to generations. And that's why we keep having this webinar to educate people on the importance of real estate investments. So for further inquiries, you can reach out to the phone numbers called today. To reach out, you can reach out to +971 5452 56112 122 or +234 8188 220077. And for investment in Nigeria, you can reach out to +234 814 3876 711 or +234 809999 5873. Or you can send an email to info@gtexthomes.com. I need more information on the UK market and US market. In fact, we partner with Berkeley Homes in the UK, meaning that you can actually buy off-plan properties in the UK, and you can actually buy ready-made properties in Highbrow area, in central London, outside London, in different villages, just for real estate investment. And just like Mr. Jonathan has said, real estate in UK can give you 100% within 7 years if you buy in the right locations. So for that inquiries, you can reach out to me. My phone number is +234, just going to type it here, 701 408 7669. Let me take it again, +234 701 408 7669. So this is fantastic information we have for you today. And I urge you all to look at it and see what you can do for real estate. If you miss any part of this video, you can send me the recording. You can send an email to us at info@gtexthomes.com, and you can share this to your friends and your family to come and actually learn some new things about the key insights about real estate. We'll be having another webinar next month whereby we'll talk about another topic and bring in some other interesting speakers to come and educate you on real estate on a global scale. I think that's all for me for now. Ms. Blessing, do you want to close this meeting?
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Wow. Firstly, I want to say a very big thank you to all those who stayed till the end of this segment. Trust me, you are the winner here. You are the winner. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Mrs. Bisi Akintayo, Thank you, Mr. Farouq. Thank you, Mr. James. And for those of you who are yet to take advantage of the offer of the day, see, I heard Mr. James talk about the all expense paid trip to Ghana. Trust me, you need to go and check the list of high profile personalities that will be attending that event. If not anything, lock down that offer for that minute. For that alone, just lock down the offer. So right now, it's always good that you take action on time. Don't wait for a ceremony to appear. Okay. And for our Dubai properties, you can also be fast. See, the time you used to to think about it, you're actually losing money, right? You're losing money. So right now, call the numbers that are assigned to every offer and lock down that offer. So I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who participated. Like Mr. Farouq said, we normally have this monthly. Next month, we're coming with another package. Please stay tuned as the information will be passed on to you. And also, you can follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, Gtexthomes, and for updates. And also, if you need the recording of this event, of course, to be sent to you, or better still, you can send the message to info@gtexthomes.com. Plus, if you need clarity on anything, please call the numbers attached in the comment section. Thank you all so much. I remain my humble self, Blessing Eziago. Until we come your way next month, please do well to own a home today with us at Gtexthomes. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Bye-bye.